Bamenda, Bamenda, power to the people, Bamenda. Bamenda says, rest in peace to powerful G. Bamenda, Bamenda, Bamenda. Bamenda, Bamenda, Bamenda.
My country people them now wanna continue shooter Oman. We are one pass this message for Amba terrorist. For that picking the way they for inside bush where they call that say Amba terrorist. Yes, they be say die for Pa John Fronde, no go come back, no go come for Bamena. So they go for Baba to make the bury. They don't bring you so they bury yes or no. Me, I go answer the question. Yes, they don't bring and bury them. So the shame be na for them. For the fool, them where they for inside bush, where they call their say them be Amba terrorist, where they not cheap people them, where they use the way say, they use that name say Amba terrorist. My tell you, that one people that where they for America, where they fool on so every day say independent who can be, independent who can be, it no go ever can be. Must tell on again. If the authority sign to this say, make that people they come for village, finish on they no go come, they go come. So we would talk say, me at the telephone and say, me gonna stop that thing and me shoot out man. Wait today, na 30 July 2023. At the sing song, at the tell una that people they wait there for America, they call una for phone the phone and say me una no surrender because they know say when una will surrender go for GGR, una go say their secret, but me una surrender, una go dey farm. Now take my number 673 28 42 82. Any who say way when I do when I want surrender, go for GGR, me wanna surrender. Call me or call the military them. They go here for una. Cameroon is one indivisible.
The burial of John Fundi, it don't take place and it don't finally finish for Baba, for your own village, your own hometown. The Pa, it don't live your own life, it don't live your own mark, and it don't go. The controversy around a burial na a reflection of who we have become as Ambazonian or as a people who are in a confused state. Confused not by their own culture or their principles, but confused by those who sit on top of them, like elites, talking heads that are supposed to elevate them. But we have become a people known for pull him down, a people who focus their attention on how to bring each other down, make sure that nobody raise up his head above the other. That is the people we have become, and that is the type of people that are enslaved. A house divided against itself cannot stand. The people of the former British Southern Cameroon are so divided that we cannot win La République du Cameroon. Our soldiers on the ground have demonstrated, but the vast majority of them have been killed, not by the enemy, but by their own fellow soldiers. The jealousy, hatred, driven by primitive instinct that we have held us down and made it impossible for us to attain even our military objective. When one Ambazonia declares independent, the other one will turn around and say that it is not independent because it is my rival who declared independence. When for Dinka, he declared our territory Ambazonia, he was never embraced by the so-called elite, who use his legal argument. We are our own worst enemy. When one Ambazonian group comes up with an idea, it is not simply replicated for purpose of replication. It is being replicated because another one for sure say Namia be better than the other. These primitive instincts are all common and are human in nature. But for us to be free, we must be able to overcome this our primitive instinct that make us so jealous of each other. No Ambazonian activist will validate another one of equal standing. No Ambazonian leader will validate another one of equal standing. This is the truth of the matter. What cripples us and what limits us is our own eternal division. We are too divided. The division are not superficial. They are real. And this is not the division of geographical division. These are division within our own making, our own egos, our own pride, our own jealousy and envy, our natural instinct, is getting the best of us. No man, no day way that make it some president or some position for this struggle. He command 11. All man that hang for a position. Whether they be making for president, then gotta for make another president over change you, the old one, it go remain. Whether you be being a general, the other one way, the one grow past you, it no go be that same general. Unless you die before the other person go be general for that same camp. This myth and all these limitations are things we must be able to overcome for us to have our freedom. Ambazonians will even go out of the way to help the enemy if it means it is going to bring down another individual. Ambazonians today, if independence will come through somebody else, that independence will not be accepted by other people. These are things that are well documented, and these are the inconvenient truth about ourselves that we have failed to address properly, or that it is just inconvenient to take a look at the mirror. But we had seen better days in the beginning of this struggle. During the time of Skakov, we saw a unity that we can only look back to and say the good old days when we were together. We flooded the TV channels, CNN, Fox News, Al Jazeera. It was even publicized that Ambazonian revolution or liberation was the most active. Even the president of the United States, Donald Trump, stated that the people of the English Cameroon, the Anglophones, are the most active diaspora group. Today, we cannot say the same. Whatever might have been the cause of this division, this bad blood that has flown amongst us, that have led to physical flow of blood in ground zero, has limited our ability to do anything. Whether it's Ambazonian trying to apply for any organization, making any diplomatic move, there are more Ambazonians that are going to write letters to that particular office to fight against the one who is going to fight for the people. We are fighting ourselves more than we are fighting the enemy. Wait until one Ambazonian will make a mistake for you to see all Ambazonians to rise up. This is the nature of a slave. This is slave mentality. We are on a current trajectory that may result to a complete loss. Many people have contacted me and asked me, but why Capo Daniel? It's better you just stay quiet. I'm not like any other person. I have responsibility. I am responsible. I cannot stay quiet and watch our struggle run into a scenario of total loss. I have told our people that we may not be able to have immediate independence. That is no longer envisaged. That is no longer something that is attainable within the next 10 years. And the fact is that it is not just not attainable within the next 10 years. We cannot sustain this war using the current trajectory or the current propagation of liberation ideology in our military front. It will not work because A is more worried about B. C is more worried about D. Our division itself have presented the biggest obstacle for us to have this independence. If we cannot have it now, today, tomorrow, or within the next 10 years, rather than us losing it, which is what will happen if we continue in the current trajectory, Cameroon will write our history. And from what we have seen across the world, Ambazonian will be wiped off the map in a case of total loss for us. They will bring restrictions that are similar to that which is in Myanmar. Things that will be worse that we can contemplate. They will make sure our history is wiped off the map and our ideology is never to be seen anymore. We cannot have independence now. We can safeguard that independence in the future by coming into the same type of compromise that the people of Ireland, Northern Ireland, did. The people of Scotland who wanted independence but could not defeat Britain. They decided to get into this union, the United Kingdom, where they can now today, after over 40 years, be able to get independence through democratic means. Those who do not follow sound judgment, who cannot articulate the reason why they believe or show Ambazonian a roadmap that is attainable, will put our independence at risk. It is either we safeguard our independence for the future or we lose it today forever. In effect, those who are campaigning for outright independence know very well that it is no longer attainable, but their efforts is complete loss. It's a suicide mission. and it must come to an end. Why must we campaign now? Like I have told our people, we have had international engagement and have established certain principles. The only way we can attract the necessary international support is for us to send this signal that the Ambazonian liberation movement is willing to consider alternative. We cannot accept resistance forever, because our prospect for resistance forever will not sustain. Resistance forever without independence now do not make the cut. My fellow Ambazonians, if there was a thin thread that can hold on to immediate independence, I, Capo Daniel, I will champion that cause. I will be the first one to hold on to that string. There are two categories of people who do not agree and who will fight this. Those who are within the regime itself. The CPDM pro-Pobia regime mass will fight against this because this war have given them the biggest success. Today, our territory, from the Atlantic to the Savannah states, all of them are completely given to the CPDM elites. The SDF have been relegated. All oppositions have been silenced. Pobia and those of his elites are the biggest winner if we continue this war. Pobia himself needs this war to keep his power and to be able to do a transition that will be acceptable by all the so-called Cameroonians. So this war and its current trajectory, one person is the winner. Pobia and the regime of Yaoundé, we must wise up. There are those within the Ambazonian camps who, for them, they have already secured their own positions to emerge as presidents or whether they are ministers in some groups. These are the people who are going to fight against any alternative. They rather have Ambazonian perish than for them to lose face. The choice we have is independence in the future or lost today. Even their own ideology, independence or nothing, resistance forever or independence now. Those two are all prescription for suicidal mission. Demandez tout.
Est dispendieux. Maître principal, que prévoit le TED, tableau des effectifs de dotation du Corps national des sapeurs-pompiers en matière de maillage territorial d'une part et des effectifs en personnel d'autre part? Sans embâche, le maillage territorial du Corps national des sapeurs-pompiers est en nette progression à travers le triangle national. Peu avant la grande réforme de 2001, le Corps national de sapeurs-pompiers comptait quelques formations stationnées dans certaines grandes agglomérations cosmopolites à l'instar de Yaoundé, Douala et Gonsaba. Le remodelage de la carte sécuritaire de juillet 2001 attribue donc 3 groupements de sapeurs-pompiers à cette force. À la faveur de la réorganisation de février 2018 intervenue par décret du chef des forces armées, le nombre de groupements passe de 3 à 5. Chaque région militaire interarmée dispose d'un groupement de sapeurs-pompiers. Dans le même ordre d'idée, près d'une vingtaine de compagnies d'incendie ont été créées. Face à l'acquisition d'un matériel onéreux et un maillage
direct.
exigeant, le personnel du Corps national de sapeurs-pompiers constitue l'épine dorsale du tableau des effectifs de dotation à réaliser. Ce n'est un secret de polichinelle. Les missions dévolues au Corps national de sapeurs-pompiers sont pointilleuses et difficiles pour leur accomplissement. Composant des forces de défense dont les principales obligations s'inscrivent dans les actions civilo-militaires, consolidant du fait le lien indissoluble armée-nation, l'incorporation, la formation, l'entraînement, le recyclage et les stages sont vendus chèrement au sein du Corps national des sapeurs-pompiers. Le nombre incalculable de spécialités et des spécialistes qui s'y trouvent constitue, s'il en était encore besoin, la preuve que le Corps national des sapeurs-pompiers se modernise et sa montée en puissance quotidienne.
Dear listeners, it is on this note that we call it a day. But before we part ways, a rundown of our top stories. Today, we brought to you insights on the graduation ceremony of the 18th batch of the Yaoundé International War College, presided at by the Secretary of State, the Minister of Defense,
my
in
guy.
charge of the National Gendarmerie, Galax Etoga Landry, on Thursday, July 27, 2023, at the amphitheater of the institution in Simbo, Yaoundé. While on our dossier page, we focused on the Cameroon National Firefighters Corps, which has for years now played a vital role in the commitment to save lives and the protection of corpses as well as the environment.
From early in the morning till late at Ladies and gentlemen, as members of the family bow before the casket, I invite us all to give a standing ovation for the late chairman, John Fundy. Ladies and gentlemen. I know it is the evening, can we make it louder? Thank you for this unanimous recognition that he was a great man for our country. We invite you now to have a seat as we hand the microphone to the members of the committee. Please remain standing. Let's all remain standing for a moment. In honor of our fallen hero, John Fundy, let us begin this great service in the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The grace and peace of God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ be to all.
And with you, please.
Our help is in the name of the Lord.
Who makes heaven and earth.
Please be seated. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though
Black legs.
Black legs.
Black legs.
Muito DJ.